Mercedes's 2024 Formula One season has been rather complex. Last year, the Brackley team arrived in Bahrain with a car that was far from the best in terms of performance. The team only began to gain from the developments brought about by the series of races in the second half of the World Championship season. And now, they've lost their talisman Hamilton from this season onwards, meaning they'll have to start the season with a weaker lineup. However, they've got their revenge planned, as big changes are coming for Mercedes. Hamilton, please keep your ears closed as Mercedes are finally doing what you wanted them to do. This news came to light after Andrew Shovlin, head of track engineering for the German team, recently provided a detailed study of the issues that hampered technological improvement during the season. The Englishman emphasized the importance of timing and quickness in making the necessary corrections in order to gain a competitive advantage. During the previous racing season, one of the primary issues for the German team came from the bottom of the car. The W15 floor was unable to ensure proper interaction between the flows exiting the diffuser and those passing through the beam wing and rear wing. Several times during the races, the engineers performed micro-aerodynamic modifications. Moves were difficult to read, leaving the drivers unable to get the most out of the single-seater. Even in the final part of the year, when there were plenty of over-the-top outcomes, the two cars continued to alternate between fantastic and dismal results. Mercedes continued to perform well, only on tracks where the car's base remained stable, as well as in odd weather circumstances with stiff temperatures. Shovlin's statements make it evident that the 2024 F1 single-seater has been unbalanced since the first races. The W15 was inflexible and unable of adapting to the various circuit parameters. This feature enabled the competitors to gain a large lead in the early stages of the event. In reality, the team was only able to reverse the trend after implementing the upgrades in Imola and taking advantage of the exceptional weather circumstances in Canada. Another significant point raised by the director of Mercedes engineering was the sluggish introduction of technical improvements. Shovlin criticized the entire development process, from the conception of the idea to the appearance of the new sections on the track. The car, which was entirely unpredictable at the start of the World Championship, prevented the technicians from identifying a clear course to take. Once a hypothetical idea was discovered, the subsequent races' differing behavior revealed the requirement for diametrically opposed advances from the previous stage. All of these dragged down the design and development of the new components. The Englishman also alluded to a reported slowdown in the research and development R&D phase in 2024. Despite the improvement gained in the second half of the season, the rate of updates has not been fast enough to make a difference against competitors. This recommends that internal procedures should be optimized, with improved communication between the design, production, and tracking divisions. Imperfect timing in management and development has virtually erased Mercedes's competitive advantage. The purpose of an update is to provide you with a technical performance advantage over competitors by increasing your performance. Teams perceive the advancements as a boost to their technical performance advantage over their opponents, which will be diminished over the course of successive races when the other cars are updated. As a result, being late for the specified dates eliminates this benefit, as the other F1 cars have progressed in the meanwhile. Furthermore, the delayed deployment of an update results in a slippage in subsequent development, starting a negative chain reaction in terms of performance. For 2025, it will be critical to arrive in Bahrain with a car that is immediately competitive and predictable for drivers. This might significantly improve Kimi Antonelli's performance, given he faces his first F1 season and may otherwise struggle to read the car and provide exact feedback to the engineers on any modifications, as he is also under a lot of pressure with Bottas, back as a reserve. During the winter, Mercedes focused on the link between wind tunnel data and factory-based CFD analysis. The goal was to create a versatile car capable of swiftly adjusting to circuits with varying characteristics by taking a more meticulous approach to the single-seater design phase. Furthermore, Antonelli and Russell are already working in the simulator to have a better understanding of the new car and develop certain work programs for the Bahrain tests. Finally, one viable technique for dealing with seasonal changes could be to implement a more dynamic development cycle. The implementation of smaller scale but more frequent upgrades may prove beneficial. All of this is done so that new ideas can be swiftly tested and corrected in real time. Given the different challenges faced in 2024, quickness in considering and executing changes will be critical. This way, the performance edge over competitors is maintained while not devoting too much effort to the creation of the 2026 automobile. This implies balancing the development of the F1 single-seater for 2025, potentially compromising the upcoming season for the project of the following regulatory period. This is something that they weren't set on doing when Hamilton was still at the team. So, were they too comfortable with the 7-time champion within its ranks? And is their pursuit for 2025 success with a new lineup their way of taking revenge on Hamilton's move to Ferrari? And it isn't just about the upgrades. As for the first time in many years, Mercedes also have a reserve driver that is capable of stepping in and winning races, something that might be utilized during the season if Antonelli underperforms. And, according to Juan Pablo Montoya, Mercedes is covering their arse by signing Valtteri Bottas as a reserve driver for the 2025 Formula One season. The Brackley-based team has signed veteran racing driver Valtteri Bottas as its backup driver for this season, while rookie driver Kimi Antonelli makes his Formula One debut with Mercedes. Mercedes has chosen junior talent Kimi Antonelli to succeed Lewis Hamilton as the 7-time F1 world champion, putting the young Italian rookie to the test in his maiden season in Formula One with a new and improved car. But not only must he find his footing in Formula One, the 2-time race winner in the 2024 Formula 2 has do it while replacing Hamilton on an elite Mercedes team. Antonelli will be teamed with the known quantity George Russell, with the British driver having the advantage over Hamilton in their final season together, Russell offering a very good benchmark against which Antonelli will be judged. Following his final season with Sauber, Mercedes signed the available Valtteri Bottas, who returns to the team at Brackley. Bottas raced as Hamilton's Mercedes teammate from 2017 to 2021, and he was an excellent teammate for Hamilton during his 4 championships from 2017 to 2020. Bottas's ability to excel in a supporting role makes him the ideal driver to keep Antonelli on his toes this season, according to Juan Pablo Montoya, with Bottas serving as a solid safety net for Mercedes if Antonelli fails to make it to Formula One. Kimi Antonelli is in the spotlight in one of the best teams out there with a teammate who is doing a mega job, Montoya said. And you're being sold as the next Max Verstappen. If he doesn't deliver, that's tough. My reading is that with Valtteri Bottas, Mercedes would be covering their arse. He's a safety net to have somebody in case it doesn't work with Antonelli, and he knows that. Montoya's sentiments reflect those of former Formula One driver and broadcaster Karun Chandhok. Rather than Antonelli having no strain on his shoulders in his rookie year, Chandhok believes the quick success of drivers such as Hamilton, Max Verstappen, Charles Leclerc, and George Russell has put a halt to the learning process. I think whether you're driving for the team who's finished 10th in the championship or the team at the front of the grid, as a rookie in F1, there's nowhere to hide, Chandhok said. You've got people like us analysing every single sector of every single lap that they do. And for Kimi Antonelli, the fact that he's coming in as a rookie, but with a top team, means you're expected to deliver, as Lewis was when he arrived at McLaren and got 9 podiums straight off the bat, as Oscar Piastri has shown in the last 2 years. You know, the expectations on rookies is high. You can't just be there saying, "Oh, I'm here to learn," anymore. That excuse has gone with the likes of Verstappen, Leclerc, Russell, Lewis before that. These rookies have just raised the bar of expectation. Speaking at the Italian Grand Prix, the weekend Mercedes announced Antonelli's signing, 48 hours after the Italian crashed shortly after the start of his first F1 weekend appearance at the wheel of Russell's car in FP1. Team boss Toto Wolff admitted signing Antonelli is a risk, but one worth taking. There are some good indications that he has a lot of talent and a lot of potential, and now it needs to be conditioned. When you invest in young drivers, these things, crashes, happen, he said. You need to be prepared to take that risk. I think we don't want to slow a driver down. We're happy to work with someone who has so much speed, that has confidence. However, will it turn out to be a success? What do you think? And what about the change in their approach to updates? Are they really that salty that Hamilton left, that they're willing to risk 2026 just to beat Ferrari in 2025? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below.